Politico's tarot cards have divined that the Democratic presidential primary race is pretty much over for everyone but Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. I'm no disciple of tarot card readings, but in this instance their revelations can also be divined through straightforward logic. The Gang of Three is well-known, well-financed, commonly runs in the double digits, and accepting the low-odds chance of Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg mounting a Luciferian, blitzkrieg incursion against the foretold heavens, Biden, Warren, and Sanders will remain as the political trinity until late winter, early spring 2020. All others have been cast into the abyss, whether or not they perceive it. However, further narrowing the field to what appears to be the solitarily unrivaled is the Washington Post's story, under the suggestive title of Presidential Hopefuls Face a Stubborn Problem, How to Bump Biden, that asserts, he alone is favored by most Democratic primary voters as the one to beat Trump, a high priority, I'd say the highest, for these voters, says a top advisor to that very former presidential candidate, Kirsten Gillibrand. Order of Knightus errant, valiant protector of damsel's honor. Democratic primary voters just want someone who is going to win, period, and right now, Biden, still occupies that space like no one else does. Reuters, on the other hand, and under the unmistakably suggestive headline of Biden seen as weak frontrunner, chooses to look at the dark side of Biden's campaign. He has been plagued by doubts over his age, fitness for office, and whether, as a moderate, he can be a standard-bearer for a party that has grown increasingly liberal. The scrambled, second-place popularity of Warren and Sanders no doubt reflects the growth of increasing liberalism. But what Reuters' Jim Oliphant fails to tell his readers is that most Democrats are moderates themselves. Perhaps in agreement with Oliphant's rather gloomy take on Biden as a former Iowa State Party chairman, there hasn't really been anybody who's taken a meteoric rise, a peculiar phrase I've always thought, that just won't die. Meteors soar downward, not upward. Would the party chairman expect? When a primary contest is fractured by boatloads of candidates, all those 1% and 2% standings subtract from much stronger candidates' numbers. And of those minor candidates, a Democratic pollster observes that no one really told them, hey, you're in a race where it's impossible for you to grow at all. There is no room, still, if there is at all any room for a 2%er to make it a gang of 4, not 3, it will be opened only by going negative. Recall, for instance, although she stands higher than 2%, Harris's bump after she brutalized Biden in the first debate. Then she ceased going negative, which was a colossal error. At this stage of the primary race, it's virtually commonsensical for laggers to go negative. At other stages, negativity is just as much a colossal error. For example, a friend of mine once worked for a Democratic nominee for the U.S. Senate. He let me know the nominee's staff wished to meet and invite me to join the campaign. But by that time my friend had resigned as a staffer. He was profoundly livid that, against his sound advice, the strategic staff had convinced the nominee to go negative against her Republican opponent, even though she was comfortably in the lead. My friend had told the strategically impaired that they and she were committing political suicide. One never goes negative when a lead seems intact. When she did go negative on the air, her numbers plummeted. She lost a winnable race. At their invitation, I did in fact meet the aforementioned impaired staff out of courtesy. In view of my friend's hideous experience with their lame-brained strategy, though, I declined their offer of employment. Thus does Biden, wisely, avoid attacking his internal opponents. He quite simply needn't do so, since his frontrunner status has been solid though predictably static because of the oversized number of candidates. He's content with mostly double-digit polling leads over his top opponents. And as the Gang of Three races into the last primary laps, two of the three, the two starring progressives, will split their vote. Biden? His is a rather comfortable position. Let's block ads. Why?